Hey guys, welcome back to Geekmas Daily Videos in December. I'm very excited. Today's video is going to be my top 3 products in every makeup category. I have done this video several times and it's one that I like to do updated once or twice a year because I like to base it off just things I currently own. So if I have panned something completely and I don't have it anymore, then I'm not including it in this. It has to be something I own at this moment. So I've got foundation, I've got primer, I've got concealer, I've got eyeshadow palettes, lip products. I am very, very excited. If you are new, I hope you'll subscribe. Let us know your current top products and let's get started. There's a few what I consider kind of boring kind of categories that I didn't include, like mascara and brows, because I just don't have that many products in those categories. And so I figure there's nothing really to talk about there. But anyway, let's start with foundation. So this is hard because I have a lot of really, really good foundations right now. I have normal skin and I have lines and I want my makeup to last all day. I like a good medium coverage. So those are my preferences. And I have loved the Revolution foundation. This is the Conceal and Define. It's really great. It lasts well throughout the day. I have shade F5.5 and it has like a really convenient doe foot applicator. It just looks good. It's not cakey and I like it. Okay, next up, Estee Lauder Double Wear. Now this is one that I have repurchased so much. I mean, this is what I wore on my wedding day and I do feel like this foundation looks very skin-like on me. I know a lot of people say it looks cakey on them. I don't know. I just don't find that. Maybe I'm not putting on as much. I'm not sure, but there's just something about this one that it just lasts really well. I mean, this is probably the best lasting foundation. I've probably worn this for 20 something hours and I feel like it still looks good and it's just great. So I have repurchased it many, many times. And I have one W1 Bone. There's probably another shade that matches me well. Oh, 2N1 Desert Beige also matches me. I have purchased like both of those shades through the years and they both work. And then the last one, this is one that I bought at the beginning of this year, which is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. And this is one that was very popular on YouTube years and years ago. And I never bought it until the beginning of this year, but I have to say, I really, really like it. And it also looks very skin-like on me, but it has good coverage. I have shade 4, which is a great match. And I don't know, it's kind of like the other two where they last well, they've got good coverage, they're not too cakey. You know, all 3 of these foundations have the requirements that I want in a foundation. I have other foundations that I really, really like. I think the long wearing part is where some of them are maybe not as good. Like I like the ColourPop Pretty Fresh a lot. That one I feel like doesn't last as well throughout the day on me, but these 3 are amazing. Okay, I use face primer every single day. I love face primer. And today I'm actually wearing 2 different face primers. I like my lines to be filled in and I wanted to help my foundation last longer. So first up, the Smashbox Original Photo Finish. I finished one of these this year, but they sent me another one in PR, so I have it. It is great. It is a traditional pore filling primer, and that's all I have to say about that. Now, this one from them is the Primerizer. This one is their more hydrating one, and I like this one too. What I like the most, though, is to put this on, like on most of my face, and then I'll just put a pore filling primer like this one, like just right here and on my forehead lines. This one is great though. I mean, I can wear it on its own and it does still have smoothing properties. Not as much though as like a pore filling primer, but again, that one works really well. And then a very affordable pore filling primer that I highly recommend is the Wet n Wild Impossible. And this is interesting because this one is silicone free, but it feels like a silicone primer. I don't know. It's just really, really good. It's very similar to the Smashbox. I think they're both fantastic and they really do help, particularly my forehead lines, from not creasing as badly. What can I say? I love those. All right, concealer. So these are my top 3 concealers that I own right now. Tarte Shape Tape Ultra Creamy. This is great. I've been using this a lot in the last few months. I'm wearing this today, and it's just like the original Shape Tape, but it is a bit more creamy, so the name is accurate. We'll give them that. I don't know. It's a really, really good concealer. I don't put that much on. I just put like a little bit here, and then I blend it out on like the rest of my under eyes. And then another amazing one is the Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer. I am very happy with this purchase. I think that it's very, very nice. It doesn't have quite as much coverage as the Tarte, but it's also very creamy. I cannot stand concealers that get drying because I have lines on my under eyes, and I just set it with powder. But if the concealer is drying, like, that's not going to work for me. So anyway, this one has one of those kind of cool looking applicators. I like it. I do. And then the third is the Pat McGrath concealer. I have really enjoyed this. I think it's great. I have shade L3 on this one. Did I say my shade on these? I don't know. N4 on the Natasha Denona and 22N light neutral on the Tarte. Again, it's great. The only thing is this has a glass packaging, which I wish it didn't because I tend to drop my makeup. So that's a problem. But all 3 of those concealers are great. All right, face powder. I actually only have 2 to talk about because I would have included the Wet n Wild one, but I recently finished it, so I guess I can't. But these 2 are amazing. The e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. I have shade Light. This is what I'm wearing today. It does not crease on my under eyes. And so that's what I mostly do, is because I have normal skin. I set my under eyes mostly, and then I just put like a little tiny bit in the center of my face. I absolutely need powder even though I have normal skin, particularly on the under eyes, because that concealer will crease without it, especially because I like creamier concealers. This one it's just so good. It really, really is. I mean, these are way better than high-end powders that I have. Geekmas, I did a disappointing products video, and I talked about a very expensive powder in that video that I did not like, but these are amazing. And the other is the Essence Banana Bright. I mean, this is like $3, and it's lovely, and it works on the under eyes. It's just, what can I say? It's amazing. Let's move on to some more color cosmetics. And so for this, for cream blush, I have 3 cream blushes and I have 3 powder blushes. But for bronzer, I just included only 3, and 1 is powder and 2 is cream, because this year cream bronzer has been my preference. So the only powder bronzer I have in this list is the Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula. I've used it a lot. It's in my project pan. I've had pan on it. I do really, really like it. You know, if I finished this, would I need to repurchase it? No, because I have other good bronzers, but I've used it a lot this year and I've enjoyed using it. All right, and then the other 2 are cream bronzers. This is the Refi one. This is in the shade Sand. I am wearing this today, and I have loved to do underpainting, particularly with cream bronzer and sometimes cream blush also. This one is really good, blends out easily, and I did film a YouTube short on how I do underpainting, and I like the way it looks. I really do. Okay, and then the other one is the Soul Body Cream Bronzer. This one they did send me in PR. I have shade Medium, and again, it blends well. It looks good. What more can I say? Bronzer is bronzer, you know, but I like a bronzer that blends out well. I really can't stand like patchy bronzer. So these 3 are amazing. Moving on to blush. Like I said, I've got 2 categories for blush. One is cream blush and one is powder blush. So these cream blushes, oh, I love cream blush, okay? This is the shade Bubbly from Flower Beauty. And wow, is this pretty or what? Beautiful pink. I put way too much there, but you can see the color. It's really, really nice. It's pigmented, but it blends out easily. It's just a really good blush, okay? It's good. And then another one is Sydney Grace came out with cream blushes this year for the first time, and they are fantastic, guys. I love them. This is in the shade My Better Half, and wow, let me swatch this. So these are in a pot like this. I just dip my brush directly in there and then apply it to the cheeks. And this is a really nice kind of peachy neutral pink. Again, blends out easily, very creamy, but lasts well throughout the day. I'm going to keep saying the same things over and over again because that's what I like. But the last one is Persona in Bubble. And this one is a stick product and it's good. I mean, it's kind of, I would say, yeah, this is a brighter and more glowy than the Flower Beauty. This one is a bit more of a pinky mauve. But anyway, I actually was worried when I bought this one that it would be too similar to this one, but I think they're different enough. They are also, you know, that one's more liquid. This is a stick product. Anyway, all three of those are fantastic. So then let me talk about the powder blushes. Hold on, let me get them. Okay, my top three powder blushes. This one I have used so much this year. It is Hourglass and Brilliant Nude. This is in my project pan. And because I've worn so much cream blush, I do sometimes like to set it with just a little bit of powder blush. And so because this one is so neutral, it is more pigmented on the face than it looks in a swatch, like most Hourglass products, but it's just such a finely milled formula, and I just feel like that color goes with any makeup look. Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. I really like this blush. I do. It is a neutral kind of mauve. It has a satinness to it. It's not super, super matte, and that's what I like. And then the last one is the Burt's Bees in Toasted Cinnamon. This is just a very unique blush color. It's very like orangey yellow. And I don't know, people will say that this looks like a bronzer, but I think this would look really, really odd on me as a bronzer. It's just way too orange. I like something more neutral for bronzer, but for blush, I love a warm tone blush. And this one is very pigmented, so you have to be careful with it, but it is lovely. All right, let's talk highlighters. So I have 3 powder highlighters. I didn't include finishing powder in this. That's kind of a separate step for me that I like to blend out my highlighter, bronzer, and blush together with a finishing powder. Currently, I've been using this, hold on, if I can find it, the Wet n Wild Color Icon bronzer in the shade Ticket to Brazil. I don't know, I really like that one, and I just didn't feel like I needed to talk about 3 finishing powders. But highlighters. So this was new this year from What's Up Beauty. Their Serengeti highlighters. This is the shade Wild Acacia. This is so pretty. Also, look at their, oh, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It has this amazing design. It's so cool. And the formula is so finely milled. I like a good glow, guys. I really, really do. I like highlighter, but I don't like a chunky highlighter. I want it to be finely milled. Champagne Pop is still a favorite of mine for many years. I have panned several minis of this. You've seen it many times. It's a champagne gold. I like the Becca formula because, again, it's finely milled. And then the last up is the Essence Gimme Glow Luminous Highlighter in the shade 10 Glowy Champagne. I don't know if this is available in the US because I did buy this when I was in Italy. And because Essence is a European brand, they don't sell all of their products in the US. This highlighter, though, is just so pretty. And the formula is so smooth. Again, not chunky at all. There it is right there. It's stunning. So anyway, and this was only, I mean, I think this was only €4. It's really, really good. All right, moving on to lip products. I'm gonna leave eyeshadow palettes for last because I don't even know if I could say they're really my top 3 because that's way too difficult, but let's talk about lip liner. I fell in love with lip liner this year. I have so many lip liners that I love, and this was very, very difficult. but I decided to go with these. I love the ColourPop formula. I'm wearing a different ColourPop lip liner today. This one I would say is probably my favorite shade from ColourPop, and it is in Beeper. It's just a really, really nice, kind of cool toned brown, mauve. This works with a lot of different lipsticks. I love the ColourPop formula. It's very creamy, very nice. Next up, Rare Beauty. This is a very good formula as well. This is in the shade Wise. This one is more of a truer brown, I guess. I like brown toned lip liners. That's kind of like what I go for, unless I'm wearing a red, which is not often. And then Natasha Denona in Dana. I used this one so much. Oh, I already need to sharpen it again. This one is great. There it is right there. This one's a bit lighter than these two. I mean, these three lip liners are so good, but I have so many other lip liners that I like. But yeah, particularly those three formulas, although I do love Pat McGrath in Contour, but I don't like the other shades as much from what I have. But anyway, those are fantastic. Lipstick. This was hard, but I have 3 bullet lipsticks here to talk about. First up is MAC Myth. Now, I don't wear this on its own, but I do like to wear this in the center of the lips with a darker lip liner or darker lipstick. On its own, this is just like way too pale for me. There it is right there. It's like kind of similar to that Sydney Grace blush, which is kind of funny. It's a bit lighter, but this I just love to mix with other lip liners. I love the MAC lipsticks. It's also a lot of nostalgia for me. It's awesome. The Give Beauty lipstick in Tragic Me is really nice. It is a mauve. I wore this one quite a bit. There it is right there. Really comfortable formula and quite long wearing for a bullet lipstick. I'm actually quite impressed with that. And then this surprised me, but I used it a lot and I really, really like it. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, but this is like their creamy version, I think is what it's called. It's different packaging. It's great. I think I like this more than like their other version. Here it is right there. It's a mauve, it's Pillow Talk. You've seen it a million times, but this formula is really nice and glossy, but it lasts a decent amount of time for a more glossy lipstick, and I definitely enjoy it. All right, and then lip gloss. Okay, here we go. Pat McGrath. I mean, I love the Pat McGrath glosses, so I couldn't not include this because I love it. This is the shade Aliangelic, and this you can put on top of any lipstick and will just add amazing shine and sparkle, but it's just so smooth on the lips. It has glitters in it, but you can't feel it on the lips. It's not chunky. I don't know. It's a really, really pretty gloss. And then the NYX Butter Glosses, I use these a lot. This one is Creme Brulee, and I use this shade so much. I love the NYX Butter Glosses. I really do. I feel like not many people talk about them anymore, but I still love them. Here is the shade right there in Creme Brulee. It's shiny, it's smooth, and I love it. And then last up is a newer product. This is the NYX Fat Lip Oil in the shade Scrollin'. This is really, really nice, and it has a decent amount of pigment for a lip oil, and it doesn't go like sliding all over. Like some lip oils are too oily. This one is more just like a gloss with a bit more hydration. And I also, like I said, I love brown lip colors. This is like an orangey brown. I'm running out of space to swatch, but there it is right there. It's nice. It really, really is, and I love that. All right, so top 3 palettes. Whew, difficult, okay? Difficult. But the Natasha Denona Bronze, I just love a warm eye. I do. I love warm tones, and this palette is great. I could have included so many other Natasha Denona palettes. I don't know. This was tough, but this is just one that I use a lot. I reached for it a lot this year, and it's stunning. It really, really is. And then the next one is also Natasha Denona, the Biba palette. Again, this is one that I used a lot this year. This one also has cool tones and warm tones. The formula is so smooth. It's so pretty. And what more can I say? And then the third one, Sydney Grace. I love the Sydney Grace formula. These are definitely my top 2 brands for favorite eyeshadow formula. And the Be Mine palette, it's lovely. I have the deep version, and the shades in here, you get really nice variety, but it's a beautiful color story. You get rosy tones, you get greens, you get warm browns, you have a black. This palette is so pretty, and their metallics are so smooth, and they're so metallic that you don't even need a wet brush. So personally, I really, really like this one. So I think that's it for this video. My top 3 products in every makeup category. I talked about a lot of different products in here. So yeah, let us know, what are your top favorites. If you haven't seen the Geekmas playlist, go check it out. Daily videos in December. If you haven't subscribed, I hope that you will. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Have a great day.